All right. Hey, I try not to do too much guitar specific stuff, but we started talking about bar chords yesterday, and I think there's some general knowledge to be had here as well. So the idea of bar chords is that they're movable. That's kind of the main thing that differentiates them from other types of chords. So as like opposed to like a C chord. Here's a C chord, right? It's just that. If I move that, by moving I mean up the neck, Some places it might sound better than others. It's not too bad. Anyway, what's happening is some of the notes are moving up, half step, another half step, another half step. Some of the notes are staying the same. So the chord is completely different, right? But let's look at two chords. Let's look at the E chord, right? If you play that E chord, right, there's regular E. Let's say I play it with those fingers. I wouldn't normally, but I'm freeing up my first finger, so I'm using these three fingers to play the E chord. I slide it up one fret and bar, right? That becomes an F. Okay, so F is that, practice that F like that. Sometimes in the book they show it like that. That's fine if you're playing it like that. That's a regular F, okay? Remember how we go from E to E minor? Right? I lift up that note. So I can go up here to F. I lift up that finger. Right, and that chord's F minor. Okay, if I went up one more fret, F sharp minor. Okay, remember F sharp minor, that was one that comes up a lot more than F minor, right? But F sharp minor, okay? Essentially, we're taking that E chord, moving up the neck. But just remember those two chords, F sharp minor, and try and find some songs that have them. Okay, now let's go to that A minor chord, right? Same kind of shape as E, just down an E string, right? Same idea. We're gonna switch the A minor. Again, we wouldn't normally play it that way, but it enables us to free up that finger. I slide that up one, A sharp minor or B flat minor, but where I really want to get is second fret, B minor, okay? C minor's on the third fret. Fourth fret is C sharp minor, okay? So those are two I want you to remember there. B minor on the second fret, right? It's like taking an E minor. B minor on the second fret. C sharp minor on the fourth fret. Those two chords come up a lot in kind of keys that we've been using, right? So, and then, okay, so that's easy to say it, not so easy to do it, right? Takes a lot of practice. Sometimes, days, weeks, even a couple months to get it down. So don't worry if it sounds real like that. Just keep working it. Make sure your fingers are in the right place. Make sure you're coming down straight on the strings. Okay? Thumb is in the back like that, right? You don't want that, so, and this finger has to be really straight. And that what Shannon was talking about yesterday. This is a little bit harder to get all 6 notes to ring out, than it is to play this chord, because if you play this chord, you don't need the bar for those 3 notes anyway. But that's a nice little practice. See where they're not coming out. The thing that happens most of the time is people's, at the knuckle it bends there, and you're not touching all the strings, or you're not pressing that hard enough. Right, see how my hand is there. Right, that'll help you work that first finger to get that bar. Okay, so again, what I want you to practice, take that E chord, play it with those fingers, move it up here for the F, move it up one more fret and take up that for F sharp minor, right? And then same thing, we got the A minor chord, play it with these fingers, move it up 2 frets, B minor, 2 more frets, C sharp minor. All right, so that's bar chords. And for other instruments, same thing on the ukulele. If you have a chord, it doesn't have to be a bar chord. It's just a matter of not having open notes. If all the notes are covered, with all the notes you're playing are covered, you can move that chord. If you're playing a scale where none of the notes are open, that's movable, right? Whereas opposed to that G run, right? There's a lot of open strings in that, so it's a more complicated thing to move it up the neck, right? violin, any kind of phrases that you're playing, double stops, whatever you're doing, it's you can think of those things as being movable if you're not using open strings. All right, I think I'll stop there and I'll send it out to you all.